What if I told you that your future isn't something you create, it's something you tune into? That every possible version of your life, success, love, healing, abundance, already exists right now, vibrating in the quantum field of infinite possibility, and that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your state of being. This is not wishful thinking or mystical poetry, it's quantum reality, the science and spirit of deliberate creation. When you live in the end, you stop hoping for your dreams to come true and begin being the person who already has them. You stop asking the universe when and start aligning with now. Because in the quantum world, reality doesn't respond to what you want. It mirrors what you are. In the journey of creation, most people make one subtle but powerful mistake. They try to manifest from the state of lack. They want a dream, but they feel its absence. They visualize a goal, but they vibrate in doubt. And the universe, perfectly obedient to vibration, simply reflects that state back. But those who understand the deeper laws of consciousness realize something extraordinary. The universe is not responding to your words or wishes. It's responding to your state of being. Every emotion, every belief, every image you hold within your awareness is a signal sent into the quantum field, and that field rearranges itself to match it. To live in the end means to emotionally and mentally occupy the reality you desire before it physically appears. It means embodying the feeling of your fulfilled desire as though it's already done, because in truth, it already is. In the quantum realm, time isn't linear. It's layered. All versions of you, the struggling one, the hopeful one, the successful one, already exist simultaneously. You shift between them not by effort, but by state. The moment you think, feel, and act as the version of you who already has what you desire, you collapse infinite probabilities into a single outcome, the one you've chosen. It's not about forcing reality. It's about matching it. Not about chasing outcomes, but resting in the knowing that the outcome already exists within your field of awareness. This is the art of quantum intention, the mastery of creation through alignment, emotion, and consciousness. When you live in the end, you're no longer a seeker trying to make things happen. You become a co-creator, allowing them to unfold. In the chapters ahead, you'll learn how the quantum field responds to your inner frequency, how to feel the end result as a present reality, how detachment and surrender amplify manifestation, how to reprogram the subconscious mind to sustain your new state, and how to finally become the living proof that your inner world shapes the outer one. So take a deep breath. You don't need to chase your dreams anymore. You only need to inhabit them, because the end you seek is already waiting for you to remember it. Chapter 1. The Quantum Truth of Creation. Everything that exists, from the stars that burn light years away to the quiet thought in your mind, arises from a single invisible field of energy and intelligence. Scientists call it the quantum field. Mystics have called it the divine mind, source, or the fabric of reality itself. Whatever the name, this field is conscious, responsive, and infinite, and it's the true canvas upon which all creation is painted. Most people believe they are physical beings living in a material world, struggling to attract things that are separate from them. But the deeper truth is far more empowering. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. Every particle, every possibility, every outcome exists simultaneously in this infinite field of potential, waiting for consciousness, your awareness, to give it focus and form. At its core, the quantum truth of creation reveals that reality is not solid. It's fluid, vibrational, and constantly rearranging itself in response to observation and belief. Every emotion, every image, every inner assumption sends a signal into this field, and the field mirrors it back as experience. You are not a bystander in life. You are a transmitter, a conscious director of energy. The question is not whether you are creating, it's what you are creating. This is why living in the end is so powerful. When you emotionally occupy the end result, the state where your desire is already fulfilled, you broadcast a frequency that tells the universe, "It is done." And because the universe has no sense of time, it responds to that signal immediately, reorganizing matter and circumstances to match your vibration. To the quantum field, there is no difference between imagination and reality, only frequency and resonance. When you understand this, you stop trying to force the world to change and instead learn to tune yourself to the version of reality you wish to experience. Creation stops being an act of striving and becomes an act of remembering that every reality already exists, and your consciousness is the bridge that selects which one becomes visible. To master creation, you must learn to move beyond appearances, beyond what your eyes see and your senses confirm. You must learn to trust the unseen, because that's where true power resides. The universe is not waiting for permission to bless you. It's waiting for alignment. When you shift your awareness from wanting to being, the quantum field collapses around your chosen frequency, and what was once invisible becomes inevitable. That is the quantum truth of creation. You don't manifest by chasing. You manifest by embodying. You don't create by wishing. You create by becoming. And the moment you understand that, your entire relationship with reality begins to change. Chapter 2. The end already exists. The greatest illusion of human life is the belief that the future has not yet happened, that it lies somewhere ahead, waiting to be built. But in truth, the future already exists in the unseen layers of the quantum field. Every possibility, every version of you, every success, every heartbreak, every healing, is already alive in potential form. Nothing is truly created from nothing. It is selected from infinite possibilities. When you begin to understand this, everything about manifestation changes. You stop asking and start aligning. You stop wondering when your dream will come and start realizing where your consciousness is tuned. Because the truth is simple yet profound. What you call the future is only the reflection of the state you inhabit right now. Imagine reality as a vast radio spectrum, endless frequencies, each carrying a different station. Every song that could ever play already exists on its frequency. You don't need to create the song. You simply tune your radio to the right station, and suddenly it's there. The same is true for your life. You don't manifest by forcing the external world. You manifest by adjusting your internal frequency to match the state where your desire is already fulfilled. When you live in the end, you mentally and emotionally step into the finished vibration of your desire. You no longer look toward your goal as something distant. You feel it now. You breathe as though it's already done. You act as though it's already part of your story. And as your state stabilizes in that frequency, the quantum field responds by collapsing into that version of reality. This is why faith is not blind. It's scientific. It is the act of occupying the vibration of what you desire before it's visible. You don't wait for proof to believe. Belief itself becomes the proof. The end already exists, but it becomes visible only to the consciousness that's ready to see it. The universe is not linear. It's holographic. Every moment, every outcome, every version of your life coexists right now in infinite dimensions. What we perceive as time is simply our consciousness moving through these realities, one focus at a time. When you choose to live in the end, you anchor your awareness in the timeline where that end is already real, and from there, everything begins to align around it. So, if you're praying for something, stop reaching out to it as if it's far away. Instead, close your eyes and feel it already here. Feel what it's like to wake up in that life, to carry that peace, to experience that joy. Because in truth, that version of you already exists. You're not becoming it, you're remembering it. When you realize this, manifestation stops being a struggle and becomes a surrender, a returning to what's already true. You stop fighting to reach the end and start living from it. And the universe, always faithful to frequency, simply mirrors it back. That's the power of this truth. The end you seek is not waiting to be created, it's waiting to be inhabited. Chapter 3. Consciousness as the creative field. Everything you see around you, every structure, every invention, every life path, began first as a thought. Consciousness is not something that exists within the universe. It is the universe. It's the invisible fabric from which all visible things arise. In its purest form, consciousness is awareness, the still, observing presence that gives birth to form, motion, and experience. When you begin to understand that your consciousness is the creative field itself, not separate from it, you start to see that life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You are not a spectator of reality. You are its projector. Every emotion, belief, and assumption acts as a command, shaping the flow of energy into tangible experience. In the quantum field, consciousness is the architect. It organizes energy into patterns that match your internal blueprint. If your inner world is filled with fear, doubt, or resistance, your external world mirrors chaos and uncertainty. But if your consciousness radiates peace, clarity, and certainty, the outer world begins to reflect harmony, opportunity, and ease. Reality is a mirror, and consciousness is the light that makes the reflection possible. When you think of something long enough, when you feel it deeply enough, you are not just imagining. You are giving structure to invisible energy. You are impressing a pattern upon the field. The more consistent your vibration, the stronger your signal becomes, and the quicker the universe responds. This is why the most powerful creators are not those who try harder, but those who believe deeper. Their inner world holds a vibration of absolute knowing, and creation simply follows. To master this, you must train your awareness to rise above appearances. The conscious mind sees limitation, the higher mind knows potential. The moment you focus on lack, you broadcast separation from what you want. But when you enter a state of completion, of wholeness, you fuse with the frequency of what you desire, and the field rearranges accordingly. You must remember, consciousness is infinite and unified. Every thought connects you to a corresponding reality. You're not calling things into existence from afar. You're tuning into the reality that already exists on that frequency. This is why inner work is not optional. It's essential. You can't change your outer world without first transforming your inner one. When you meditate, visualize, or affirm with presence, you are not wishing, you are creating. You are speaking directly to the field that governs all things, and that field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your state. When your consciousness becomes still, certain, and aligned, it becomes a clear channel through which divine intelligence flows effortlessly. Your job, then, is not to force the how or the when. It's to refine your state of being until it resonates with the outcome you desire. Consciousness creates reality, not action alone. The outer action is simply the echo of an inner decision already made in the field. So realize this: you are not a drop in the ocean of creation. You are the ocean expressing itself as a drop. And the moment you claim that truth, you stop waiting for miracles and start becoming one. Chapter 4. The State of the Wish Fulfilled. To live in the state of the wish fulfilled is to stand at the end of your desire, not as an observer longing for it, but as the embodiment of its completion. It is the art of emotionally and energetically dwelling in the reality where your desire is already true. This is not imagination for comfort, it is alignment for creation. Because in the quantum realm, the universe doesn't respond to wanting, it responds to being. Think of your desired reality as a frequency, a living vibration in the field of infinite possibilities. When you wish for something, you acknowledge that you don't have it, and that very feeling of lack separates you from it. But when you enter the emotional state of already having it, your vibration merges with the desired frequency. You are no longer chasing a future event. You are resonating with its current existence. The state of the wish fulfilled isn't about pretending or daydreaming. It's a deep inner conviction, an unshakable knowing that what you seek is already yours in consciousness and therefore must unfold in experience. You walk, speak, and think from that end reality. You don't look for signs. You are the sign. You don't ask, when will it happen? You say, it is done. When you live in this state, your mind begins to reorganize your reality around that truth. You'll notice inspired thoughts, unexpected opportunities, and subtle nudges guiding you, not from effort, but from flow. You are no longer a seeker of outcomes, but a vibration that naturally attracts its match. You've moved from desiring to embodying, and that's where creation happens. Emotion is the bridge here. To think without feeling is to plant a seed on dry ground. Feeling saturates your consciousness with life, giving energy to the image within. When you feel gratitude before it manifests, joy before it arrives, and peace before it's visible, you are collapsing time. You're saying to the universe, I already have this. And the quantum field, obedient to your emotional command, mirrors it back. The most profound truth of this practice is that it dissolves separation. When you truly feel your wish as fulfilled, there's no longer a you and a goal, only one state of being. That unity is the secret of creation. The outside world no longer needs to convince you. Your inner knowing becomes your evidence. In this state, you no longer force things to happen. You allow them to. You don't cling to control because you've already received it energetically. You rest, you trust, and you radiate certainty. The need for proof fades, replaced by a calm assurance that what you have assumed is already alive in you. To live in the state of the wish fulfilled is to walk as if the miracle has already occurred, because in truth it has. You are simply watching reality catch up to your inner decision. So, when you think of your desires, don't ask how they'll come. Ask only this: how would I feel if it were already done? Then, live from that feeling and watch the universe move mountains to match it. Chapter 5. Emotion, the language of reality. If thoughts are the blueprint of creation, then emotion is the electricity that brings that blueprint to life. The universe does not respond to empty words or mechanical affirmations. It responds to the frequency you emit, and that frequency is determined by how you feel. Emotion is not weakness. It is energy in motion, the invisible current that speaks directly to the quantum field, communicating what you truly believe beneath your words. You can say, I am abundant, 1,000 times a day, but if your emotional state vibrates with fear or lack, the signal you're sending is absence. The quantum field reads vibration, not vocabulary. It mirrors the dominant emotion you embody, not the intention you declare with your mouth. This is why many people struggle with manifestation. They try to think positively while still feeling negatively. But the heart always wins, because emotion is the language creation understands best. When you align your emotions with the reality you wish to experience, you harmonize your entire being with that outcome. Joy, gratitude, peace, love, these are not just nice feelings, they are creative codes. They tell the universe, this is who I am now. When you cultivate these feelings intentionally, you become magnetic to experiences that match them. You begin to witness synchronicities, effortless opportunities, and people who reflect your inner frequency back to you. Think of your emotions as the colors with which you paint your reality. Each feeling tones the energy field around you. Anger, fear, or despair darken your vibration, attracting experiences that confirm those states. Love, gratitude, and serenity brighten it, allowing clarity and alignment to flow. You are the artist, and your emotional tone determines what the canvas of life reflects. But here's the secret. You don't need to force yourself to feel good all the time. That's not mastery. That's denial. True emotional power comes from awareness, from observing your emotions without judgment and then consciously choosing what to amplify. When you acknowledge lower emotions, you release their resistance. When you pivot toward higher ones, you shift your frequency deliberately. Emotion, when understood, becomes a tool, not a trap. The key is emotional coherence, when your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are in harmony. This coherence creates a stable frequency that the quantum field can respond to with precision. The heart and mind are meant to work together. The mind holds the image, the heart supplies the energy. When they unite, creation becomes effortless. So ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not what am I thinking, but feeling. Because that emotion is the instruction you're giving to the universe. You're always broadcasting, always transmitting, whether you're aware of it or not. The field is listening, always echoing your inner world back to you. When you master emotion, you master creation. You stop reacting to appearances and start shaping them. You stop waiting for external changes to make you feel good and begin feeling good to make external changes. This is the inversion of power, the shift from victimhood to creation. Emotion is not your enemy, it's your compass. It tells you when you're aligned and when you're not. It's the divine feedback system of your soul, guiding you back to resonance with your highest self. So let your emotions flow, but choose them consciously. Because in the end, your feelings are not just personal sensations, they are your vibrational signature. And that signature writes the story of your life, one frequency at a time. Chapter 6. Detachment and Surrender to the Flow. One of the most misunderstood principles of manifestation is detachment. Many people believe that to detach means to stop caring, to suppress desire or abandon dreams. But true detachment is not apathy, it is trust. It is the serene knowing that what you have asked for is already yours in the unseen, and therefore there is no need to force, chase, or control. When you cling to an outcome, you are actually broadcasting lack. You are saying to the universe, I don't have this yet, and that vibration keeps your desire at a distance. The more you obsess, the more you confirm separation. But when you release attachment, you shift your energy from needing to knowing, from anxiety to alignment. You become like a river that flows naturally toward the ocean, not struggling to get there, but trusting the current. Surrender is the art of allowing universal intelligence to fulfill your intention in its own perfect way. It is recognizing that you are the co-creator, not the controller. Your job is to hold the vision and feel its reality. The universe's job is to arrange the details. When you micromanage the process, you limit infinite intelligence to your human understanding. But when you surrender, you open the door to outcomes greater than you could ever imagine. Detachment is not disconnection, it's freedom. It's standing in faith so deep that you no longer measure progress by appearances. You don't panic when things look opposite to your desire because you understand that contrast is part of alignment. The seed doesn't doubt itself because it's underground. It knows the sprouting is inevitable. Likewise, when you've set your intention, the temporary silence or uncertainty is not failure, it's gestation. The power of surrender lies in your state of ease. Resistance slows manifestation. Relaxation accelerates it. When you release control, you allow flow. The universe is designed to respond to coherence, not chaos, and nothing is more coherent than peace. The moment you let go of how and when, your vibration stabilizes, and life begins to move in your favor without your constant intervention. Trust this process. The unseen is always working. Energy is always rearranging. Every inspired action, every intuitive nudge, every delay has meaning. When you live in detachment, you begin to see divine timing at play. The right opportunities arrive at the right time, and what once felt like obstacles become pathways. To surrender is not to give up. It's to give over to a power that knows better than your logic. You are not meant to carry the entire weight of creation. You are meant to align, release, and flow. When you stop grasping, your hands become open to receive. So breathe deeply. Trust the rhythm of life. Don't chase what's already on its way to you. The universe is not testing you. It's teaching you how to trust. And when trust replaces tension, miracles no longer feel miraculous. They feel natural. Chapter 7. Reprogramming the subconscious state. The subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality. It does not argue, question, or analyze. It simply accepts whatever is impressed upon it with emotion and repetition. While your conscious mind sets intentions, your subconscious determines outcomes. This means that no matter how much you consciously want success, love, or peace, if your subconscious blueprint is wired for lack, fear, or limitation, you will unconsciously recreate those conditions over and over again. To live in the end, to truly manifest your desired reality, you must first align your subconscious programming with the frequency of what you seek. The subconscious is the soil of creation. Whatever seed it holds will eventually sprout in your external world. If the soil is filled with weeds of doubt, insecurity, or unworthiness, your higher intentions will struggle to grow. But when you reprogram the subconscious with empowering beliefs, the universe mirrors that new internal state effortlessly. So how do you reprogram the subconscious? Through repetition, emotion, and imagery. The subconscious learns through feeling, not logic. This is why affirmations often fail when they are said mechanically. The words must carry emotional conviction. When you affirm, "I am worthy," feel the truth of those words vibrating through your being. When you visualize your future self, see it vividly, immerse yourself in the scene, and let your body believe it's real. The most powerful moments to reprogram your subconscious are when your brain is in a relaxed, receptive state, right before sleep and just after waking. In these states, known as alpha and theta, the critical filter of the conscious mind softens, allowing new beliefs to enter directly into the subconscious. That's why bedtime affirmations, guided meditations, and visualization rituals are so effective. You are literally rewriting the inner code of your reality while the gatekeeper sleeps. Your subconscious doesn't understand time. It only understands now. When you imagine your desired reality as if it already exists, your subconscious accepts that version as truth and begins to organize circumstances to make it visible. It doesn't distinguish between real and imagined. What you emotionally experience in your inner world becomes a command to the quantum field. Be mindful of your self-talk, because every repeated thought is a form of programming. If you constantly think, "I always struggle," your subconscious obeys that command. But if you shift to, "Life flows easily for me," your subconscious rewires your identity to match that belief. Over time, your external life begins to reflect the new inner template. Healing and reprogramming also require self-forgiveness. Many of your limiting beliefs were not consciously chosen. They were inherited, absorbed, or conditioned through past experiences. The moment you stop judging yourself for them, you release their emotional charge. Forgiveness clears the energetic field so that new patterns can take root. Remember this: your subconscious is not your enemy. It is your most loyal servant. It has been protecting you based on outdated information. When you begin to feed it higher truths, it transforms from a saboteur into your greatest ally. So speak to it with love. Feed it images of abundance, peace, and wholeness. Let your emotions align with your affirmations. And most importantly, persist. Because repetition is the language of transformation. When the subconscious finally believes what the conscious mind has been declaring, the two merge into coherence. And in that harmony, reality bends. That is when manifestation ceases to be effortful and becomes inevitable. Chapter 8. Parallel realities and vibrational alignment. Reality is not linear, it's multidimensional. Every possible version of your life already exists within the quantum field, vibrating at different frequencies. There isn't just one future waiting for you. There are infinite parallel realities, each corresponding to a unique state of consciousness. When you shift your vibration, you don't create a new reality. You simply tune into one that already exists. Think of it like a radio. The music isn't created when you turn the dial. It was already broadcasting all along. You only hear the song when you align with its frequency. The same is true of manifestation. The life you desire, the love, success, peace, or abundance, is already playing on a higher frequency. You don't chase it, you tune into it. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the dials. The clearer your frequency, the stronger your connection to that version of yourself. This is the essence of vibrational alignment. Everything in existence has a vibration, including your thoughts. When you vibrate at frequencies of gratitude, faith, and joy, you align with realities that mirror those vibrations. Conversely, when you dwell in fear, doubt, or resentment, you attract experiences that validate that state. The universe doesn't punish or reward, it simply reflects your energetic broadcast. The key to shifting realities is to embody the vibration of the desired state now. If you wish to experience abundance, don't wait for money to appear before you feel abundant. Feel it first, deeply, genuinely, as if it were already true. Walk, speak, and think like someone who already lives in that reality. When you do this, your energy field becomes a magnet for opportunities, people, and synchronicities that match that frequency. But vibrational alignment is not just about positive thinking, it's about energetic coherence, when your emotions, thoughts, and actions are in harmony. You can't vibrate at the frequency of abundance while secretly holding beliefs of unworthiness. You can't expect love while subconsciously fearing rejection. The inner vibration must match the outer desire. That's why inner healing is so vital. It removes the energetic distortions that block your alignment. You are constantly shifting through parallel realities every moment. Every new thought, decision, or emotion subtly moves you into a new timeline. Most people remain in repetitive loops because they unconsciously choose the same emotions and responses every day. To break free, you must consciously elevate your state, choosing gratitude over complaint, faith over fear, calm over chaos. Each of these small shifts creates a vibrational leap into a higher version of your life. Here's the quantum secret. Reality does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. Your identity is your frequency. When you become the version of yourself who already has what you seek, not pretending, but fully embodying it, you magnetize that reality naturally. Parallel realities are not somewhere out there. They exist within you. The moment you align emotionally and energetically with the version of yourself who is already free, fulfilled, and awakened, the universe reorganizes itself to reflect that truth. So, the next time you visualize your dream, don't just see it, feel it. Don't just think it, be it. Speak as though it's already done. Walk as though it's already yours. Breathe as though the outcome is complete. You are not chasing your future. You are remembering it. You are not manifesting your desires. You are aligning with them. And the moment your vibration matches your vision, your world shifts to meet you there. Chapter 9. Faith Beyond the Senses. Faith is not blind belief. It is perception beyond perception. It is the quiet knowing that reality is more than what the eyes can see and the ears can hear. To live in the art of quantum intention, you must develop the ability to trust what is invisible, to hold unwavering certainty even when physical evidence has yet to appear. This is where most people falter. They believe what they see instead of seeing what they believe. The senses are powerful tools for navigating the physical world, but they are poor masters when it comes to creation. They show you what has already been manifested, what has already solidified from past thoughts and emotions. When you rely solely on them, you become trapped in a feedback loop of old realities. Faith, however, breaks that loop. It allows you to see from the end and call forth new patterns of existence. To live by faith is to anchor yourself in the unseen, to act, think, and feel as though your vision is already real, regardless of appearances. You may not yet see the abundance, the healing, or the love, but you know that it exists now in the unseen field. You stop asking when and begin affirming now. You stop pleading and begin aligning. This is not delusion, it is creation through spiritual certainty. The universe doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to conviction. Faith beyond the senses is the inner calm that whispers, "It is done," even when logic screams, "It's impossible." It's the same faith that moves mountains, not by force, but by resonance. Every great breakthrough in history, spiritual, scientific, or personal, began with someone who dared to see what others could not. They tuned into a frequency of possibility higher than the evidence before them. Cultivating such faith requires intimacy with silence. In silence, you detach from sensory noise and tune into the deeper knowing of your soul, the part of you that never doubts because it already is. When the mind grows still, the inner voice of truth becomes louder. You start recognizing signs, nudges, and synchronicities as confirmation that your faith is magnetic. Life begins to mirror your inner conviction. Faith does not mean ignoring reality, it means remembering that reality is layered. There's the one you can see and the one you are creating. The more you focus on the unseen reality, the faster it crystallizes into form. This is why faith is a creative act. You are not merely believing in something distant, you are energizing it into existence. The power of faith beyond the senses lies in consistency. Every time you choose trust over fear, surrender over control, gratitude over doubt, you amplify your energetic frequency. The universe responds to your steadiness, not your struggle. When you stop oscillating between belief and disbelief, the energy stabilizes and manifestation becomes inevitable. Faith is not about waiting for proof. It is about being the proof. It is walking through the storm as though the sun is already shining, because in your world, it is. So, live by inner sight, not outer circumstance. When your senses fail you, let your spirit guide you. Because in the quantum realm, the unseen is not imaginary. It is the origin of all that becomes real. Chapter 10. Becoming the Living Proof. At some point, the practice of living in the end must evolve from concept into embodiment. It's not enough to think, visualize, or affirm. You must become the very vibration of the fulfilled reality you seek. Becoming the living proof means stepping fully into the identity of the person who already has, already is, and already lives the desired end. You no longer hope for it, you are it. You stop searching for evidence outside yourself, because your life itself becomes the evidence. When you become the living proof, every thought, word, and action flows from the consciousness of completion. You no longer ask, "When will it happen?" Because in your mind it already has. You no longer chase opportunities. They begin to chase you. The universe reorganizes itself to match your frequency because you have become an energetic match for the reality you once desired. You've shifted from manifestation as a technique to manifestation as a state of being. This transformation requires unwavering inner congruence. You must live, breathe, and respond as your future self now. When challenges arise, you ask, how would the version of me who has already succeeded respond to this? And then, you respond from that state, calm, confident, unshaken. That is the true art of quantum mastery, emotional discipline, energetic coherence, and identity alignment. Every moment becomes a declaration of who you believe yourself to be. Becoming the living proof also means releasing the identity of the struggler, the one who's always trying, manifesting, or waiting. That identity exists in the energy of lack. But the moment you step into your new self, the game changes. You no longer visualize your dream life from the outside, you live it from the inside out. Gratitude becomes natural. Confidence becomes effortless. You feel peace not because everything has appeared, but because you know it already has, and that knowing bends reality to your will. When you fully embody your desired state, manifestation becomes automatic. You attract people who mirror your new vibration, opportunities that confirm your new level, and experiences that validate your new identity. You stop reacting to the world and start commanding it through your energy. You no longer seek validation because your existence is validation. You don't need to convince anyone. Your results speak the language of alignment. This is the final stage of quantum creation, living as the embodiment of your vision. You no longer separate yourself from what you desire. You recognize that you are the desire made flesh. You and the universe are no longer two. You are one flow, one field, one consciousness expressing itself as you. The dream is no longer something to reach, it is something you are remembering and re-experiencing every day. So walk as the fulfilled version of yourself. Speak from the energy of completion. Make decisions as if your dream life is already your current life, because in the quantum realm, it is. Be the vibration that others can feel even before they understand it. Be the walking demonstration of possibility, the living proof that energy creates matter and that consciousness shapes reality. You are not waiting for your destiny, you are embodying it. You are not manifesting miracles, you are the miracle. When you live from the end begins to live through you. And when that happens, the world doesn't just see your success, it feels your frequency. Conclusion. You have now journeyed through the essence of creation, from understanding the quantum truth of existence to mastering faith beyond the senses, and finally to becoming the living proof of your intention. The message is simple but profound. Reality is not something that happens to you, it is something that responds to you. Every thought you hold, every emotion you nurture, every state you dwell in, they all shape the frequency you broadcast into the universe. To live in the end is to live in certainty. It is to stop waiting for life to prove your worth and to start proving your worth through your vibration. You no longer look to the outside world for permission, validation, or timing, because you know that the universe mirrors your inner state. The moment you claim something in consciousness, the wheels of manifestation are already in motion. The higher truth is that you are not separate from the universe you seek to command. You are the universe, expressing, experiencing, and evolving through form. Your desires are not random wishes, they are divine impulses guiding you toward expansion. Every challenge, every delay, every redirection is not punishment. It's calibration, helping you align with your true power. When you master your inner world, the outer world cannot resist your frequency. That is the art of quantum intention, to align, to allow, and to embody. You no longer chase results, you attract them. You no longer beg for change, you become it. And in doing so, you awaken to the profound realization that manifestation was never about getting. It was always about remembering who you truly are. So today, stop asking, "How long will it take?" and start asking, "How long will I take to believe?" Because the moment you believe, you begin to see. And when you see from the end, you live beyond limits. Thank you for being part of this transformative journey through Living in the End, the Art of Quantum Intention. If this message resonated with you, remember, awareness shared becomes power multiplied. So like this video to send out that energy of expansion. Subscribe to Summary Shelf for more deep soul-awakening lessons that elevate your mind and align your reality. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment that could shift your consciousness forever. Share this message with someone who's ready to step into their higher reality, because when one person awakens, it creates ripples of light across the world. Until next time, live with intention, act with faith, and remember, you are not becoming powerful, you already are. You just have to live in the end.